Hello, everybody. Welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Allie, and I am a bookish coffeeholic. Today, I just wanted to talk about some of the fall readathons slash challenges that I have been participating in or are planning on participating in. The first one is actually for the Goodreads group that I help moderate, and I created a fall spooky bingo challenge. And so far, I have all but 2 prompts fulfilled, but I just wanted to share the books that I chose for my prompts. So the first one was to read a book by my favorite author, and I chose to read Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. I have been a Maniscalco fan since I read the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, and I was blown away by her new series, at least the first installment of it. I jumped into it and I read it probably in about 2 or 2.5 days and immediately needed the rest of that series. And let me just say, it was the perfect fall slash spooky reads. It may be set in the summer, but the storyline involves witches and demons and princes of hell, and it just felt very spooky adjacent slash actually spooky. So I'm very happy that I picked that one up. I did give it 5 out of 5 stars because her writing is so wonderful. I have always enjoyed it, and this new series that she actually just finished this year is no exception. The next book that I read was to fulfill the prompts to read a book set in the fall and a book with Halloween colors on the cover. So I read A Proposal They Can't Refuse. It is set in the fall and it has orange on the cover. Like the entire cover is orange, really. So that definitely fits the bill for Halloween colors on the cover. And it was a romance, and I thought it was incredibly cute. The main characters, one is Puerto Rican, and the other is Irish American, and it just involves a lot of family dynamics because they are multi-generational immigrant families living in Chicago. There were very, I guess, grown up, for lack of a better way of putting it, grown up conflicts that they face together and work through. But I thought that the characters were very relatable, and I felt like it was a very realistic storyline. So I really enjoyed that one. The next one that I read fulfilled the prompt for a book that feels quote unquote cozy. And for this one, I read the graphic novel Crumbs. It is actually a webtoon comic that was made into a physical bound copy, and I really enjoyed it. It is about a witch and her journey to kind of find her place in their society, but also is like a romance comic as well. So it was very cute, very cozy, very magic, witchy vibes. If you enjoy that sort of thing, I highly recommend it. And then the last book that I read for my bingo challenge was to fulfill a prompt that was have a Halloween character in it. And for that one, I chose to read something that has fairies in it, and it was A Court of Mist and Fury. When I tell you that this is one of my new favorite series, I'm serious, because I read ACOTAR for the first time last month, and I immediately fell in love with the writing style and the world that Sarah J. Maas was building. And when I say that my favorite character from ACOTAR was already my favorite character before I read ACOMAF, I'm so glad that it was, because I didn't feel waylaid by the original male main character. I don't want to give any spoilers in case anybody hasn't read it, but I highly enjoyed ACOMAF even more than ACOTAR, so that is saying something. And I will absolutely be continuing on with the series, and I really want to read the Crescent City series, but I think that I have to finish the ACOTAR series, at least what's published in the ACOTAR series, before I hit up the Crescent City series, because I've heard that the characters are referenced, and I don't want to spoil it for myself. But anyway, so I've read ACOMAF for the one for a Halloween character, and loved it. Highly recommend if you have read ACOTAR, and if you haven't, you should try it. So that's it for the spooky / fall bingo challenge that I created for my Goodreads group. The next one that I wanted to talk about is for WeekendWeen, and this year's theme is Monster Mash. This one I'm incredibly excited for because I participated in Summerween and loved it. I love the hosts, and I just think it's all around a fun time because, as one Olivia Reads a Latte says, spooky adjacent books are where it's at. Love spooky adjacent books and legit spooky books, but spooky adjacent is my jam. So for WeekendWeen, there are two book prompts and two general prompts, and I have chosen one book for each of the book prompts, and then the other ones are just, they're going to be accomplished by actually participating, for me at least. So one of the book prompts is to read a book with a monster in it, and for me, I think that I'm going to try to listen to Zoraida Cordova's Valentina Salazar Is Not a Monster Hunter. I can get it through my library, so I think I'm gonna do that one because it sounds fun, and I really do enjoy Cordova's writing. I have read the first installment of the Brooklyn Brujas trilogy, and then I also read The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina, and I have enjoyed both of those books. So that's one of the books that I'm planning on reading. And then the other prompt is to either listen to a spooky story or read a horror graphic novel. For me, I'm not really the biggest fan of horror. I have not really tried it. To be quite honest, I haven't given it a really good effort to see if I enjoy it. However, I do not enjoy horror movies, and that is why I have kind of just decided that horror is not my favorite genre. So for me, the horror graphic novel that I think I'm going to try to read is Over My Dead Body by Boo Sweeney. This one I have not heard a ton about. I have seen a few other booktubers / bookstagrammers talk about it, and they have enjoyed it. So I am hoping that it lives up to the hype of the other bookstagrammers and booktubers, and B, is horror-esque enough to count for this prompt. But then the other two prompts for WeekendWeen, one is to let a coin toss decide your first book, and the other is to read in the dark or at night. So I have two options for books, and I will let a coin toss decide which one I get to first. And typically my prime reading time is in the evening when it is dark, so that should be no problem for me. The last read-a-thon that I want to talk about, because they just announced it is coming back this year, and I am so excited because I have always wanted to participate in this read-a-thon ever since I saw that it was a thing, and that is the Gilmore Girls read-a-thon. I am a huge fan of Gilmore Girls. I have watched it probably no less than 3 times, but it's a good comfort show, honestly. Anyway, so there are 6 book prompts for the Gilmore Girls readathon, and I am so happy to say I have found one that fulfills 5 of them. So I will be reading Blackmail and Babinka by Mia P. Manansala. This is the 3rd book in the Tita Rosie's Kitchen mystery series. It is a cozy mystery series. I read the first one earlier this summer, and then the second one I read, I think, about a month ago. And this 3rd installment just was published at the beginning of October. And I'm looking forward to it because I really have enjoyed this series. It is by an Asian American author, and the main character is part of an Asian American immigrant family. It is set in a small town in the suburbs of Chicago, and the love interest is a little complicated, but I don't want to delve into that because I feel like it kind of spoils the progression of this romance, because it starts in the first one. So it's like a journey. It's been a long time coming for this main character and this love interest. And then the last prompt that it fulfills is it is set during the fall/winter. I believe it is a Christmas novel. Oh, and another prompt, family drama. So I don't want to delve too deep into that either, because I don't want it to, if you want to read the first one, haven't read it yet, I don't want to spoil it because it does involve family drama. The entire series involves family drama, but it kind of comes to a head in the 3rd novel. I think there is a character that has been mentioned in the first 2 books that we finally get to meet in this 3rd book, and I know that the character itself has caused a lot of family drama, so I'm looking forward to see how this all plays out. So that is 5 prompts out of 6 that this one fulfills. And then the last one that I know it doesn't fulfill is Leaves on the Cover. However, I think that the group read fulfills this prompt, and the group read is As Seen on TV. It's a rom-com. I don't know much else about it. I did see on Goodreads that it is set in a town called Pleasant Hollow. I believe that's what it said, Pleasant Hollow. So already we have a very Gilmore Girls-esque setting, at least in my opinion, because it's a small town. The second word of the town name is Hollow. I mean, it sounds about right. So I am hoping that I will be able to also get to the group read next month. It is going to be taking place over a week, so from a Monday to a Sunday. I think that that's a really good time for a readathon, especially when there are 6 prompts and then a group read. So obviously you could do a different book for every prompt if you wanted to. However, I'm not going to, because I'm just really busy all the time. Because I work a full-time job, it's very difficult for me to read 7 books in a week. So we're not going to do that. We're going to read 2. And I think that that is an adequate goal for myself. So that is my plan for this fall and all of the readathons and reading challenges I am doing. I am very much looking forward to enjoying these readathons with the other participants, and I believe I'm going to try my hand at daily vlogging for the Gilmore Girls readathon, because who doesn't love Gilmore Girls? And maybe doing a daily vlog will help me read more than just 2 books that week. We'll see. So I hope that you have enjoyed hearing about the books that I am reading for my readathons and the prompts that they are fulfilling, and potentially getting some inspiration for your own fall reading with cozy and spooky adjacent books. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.